How sweep it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monster Territory, brought to you by the Foul Territory Network. The Red Sox are over 500. It sounds almost kind of pathetic to say that, but holy cow, with how bad the Red Sox were playing not too long ago, for them to get back to this point, it is a great feeling, ladies and gentlemen. The vibes are through the roof right now. 5 straight wins. They've won 3 straight series. They've won 7 out of their last 9. We're thinking, a couple of weeks ago, this team is down and out. They were this close. Remember, they lost that game 1 at Yankee Stadium, and you're thinking, here we go. This is it. This is the weekend where we're going to start thinking about, what are we going to be selling off at the deadline? What kind of moves are we going to make for the future? And all of a sudden, they came back that Saturday, won big, got another one on Sunday. Then you come again this weekend, and you get a sweep. It's crazy how different it was then compared to now. Wow. I am on a high right now, ladies and gentlemen. Man, oh man. Just crazy to think how much of a change there has been. And the biggest change has been the starting pitching. The starting pitching is through the roof over the last 6 games. 6 straight starts now where a starter has gone at least 6 innings, and they're 5-1 in those games. It just goes to show, I feel like I've been saying this every single game now for the last few games. If you just get at least some solid starting pitching, maybe get a couple of runs across the board, a few, you got yourself a chance. And that's how I was feeling for the Red Sox for a little while there. It just felt like they weren't putting themselves in the best possible positions to at least try and win a game, right? You're coming out of the gate, you're down, 5-6-0 sometimes. And then even if you did get some decent starting pitching, the offense wasn't able to come through, or the bullpen was blowing it late, whatever it may be. They just were not clicking on all cylinders. And right now, this Red Sox team, they're looking fantastic. And even today, where you only get a couple of runs across the board, you get a phenomenal start from Brayan Bello. He just looks better and better here the last few starts. And I'm telling you, I think he had made a bit of a shift with his mechanics. I think he figured something out there. And you're just seeing a more confident Brayan Bello on the mound. Just the way he's moving out there, the body language is looking better with him. A different mix of pitches today. He really brought a different tone here today. Just the way he attacked here today. Right, mixing in some different pitches. This is the best we've seen from Brayan Bello in a long time. And also, everybody, I can't believe I didn't say this in the very beginning. Happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there. I'm wishing you a very happy day. Hope you're all enjoying it. I would imagine you're all enjoying this Father's Day because, you got a sweep of the Yankees. That's a pretty good Father's Day gift. Just had my birthday on Friday. We got a walk-off win. A sweep on Father's Day. What a great weekend. Man, oh man. Great weekend all the way around, except for Yankee fans out there. I'm sorry. But again, happy Father's Day. But getting to the point there, listen, I think the Yankees, they got to be wishing Raffy Devers happy Father's Day as well, because this man, listen, the Yankees, they were saying for years and years and years that they were Pedro's daddy. Well, Pedro himself said that too. But I think you got to look at it from Raffy Devers' point of view here. I'm starting to think Raffy is officially the Yankees' daddy. Going deep again. He's had a lot of home runs against the Yankees in his career. Really coming through today with an insurance run on the home run there. And Trevor Story, right? Got the offense going here today. And also Romy Gonzalez as well. Big shout out to Romy Gonzalez early on in the game there, which led to the Trevor Story RBI base hit off of Max Fried. Romy Gonzalez, holy cow. Taking quite the bump, just like Bregman took. Remember in Baltimore, Bregman took that bump where his nose just looked completely shattered in that one. The guy was bleeding or whatever. Same thing with Romy today. I actually think the Romy one today might have been a little bit worse. Holy cow. He plowed into the third base bag. But I love that, man. You just felt like even though the energy was already pretty good here over the last few days, you just felt even something more right there, right? It really got the crowd going, just seeing him face planting into the bag like that, right? Just good energy today at the ballpark. It was a beautiful day at Fenway. Man, oh man. Gotta love it. But Trevor Story continuing his success against Max Fried in his career. That was something we talked about last night coming into this one today. And, again, Fried, this is one of those guys where you're not going to have a lot of opportunities to do damage against him. And what I said last night for the preview here today, I was saying you got to try and look for find a couple of mistakes out over the plate. Try and just do something against this guy. I was thinking they were going to be aggressive coming out of the gate against him, and they were. They were aggressive because this is a guy where you cannot let him settle in, because when he does, Fried is more likely than not just going to dominate, right? But I'm glad the Red Sox, I think they took the right approach against Fried today, who did pitch well for the most part. If he got a little run support, he would have won that game today. He pitched very good today. So, but just a great series sweep. And funny enough, too, coming into the series, I was saying the Red Sox need a sweep, right? Or did I say this coming into the series, or did I say this after game one? I can't remember. I said it not too long ago. I'm thinking, right, the Red Sox, they're playing better, but they need to get a sweep. They need to really keep this momentum going. And now going to the West Coast, got how many games on the West Coast? I think, is it a 9-game trip? I can't fully remember off the top of my head, but you're going to Seattle, you're going to San Fran. Hey, good momentum, man, going out west. Things are feeling very good right now. Things are feeling very good. Before we do get to the post-game breakdown, we do have a word from our sponsor. I'll be right back.
If you're one of those on-the-go people, or you're skipping meals but you don't want to, there's got to be a quicker solution. We've got one for you. It's called Huel. I'm going to take a swig. Cheers to Huel. This is the Black Edition, plant-based as well. Good for me. But what do you like about it?
I like the nutrition of it, and the replacement meal is great for me. Someone always on the go. Like, man, I can just grab one of these out of my fridge, lunch, breakfast, whatever it takes, whatever meal I'm not going to have time to eat. It fills me up, and it tastes great. You know why? Because it tastes like milkshake, ice cream, whatever you want to call it, whatever flavor you get is delicious.
35 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, 27 vitamins and minerals, low sugar. You can get yourself 15% off plus a free gift for new customers using the exclusive FT code FOUL, F-O-U-L, at Huel.com/FOUL. Please see our description for terms and conditions. Skip the stress, not the nutrition. Try Huel today for complete nutrition, bottled.
All righty, let's get to it here. Let's talk about the offense. There's not really a whole lot of offense to talk about here. But like I said, aggressive out of the gate. That's exactly the approach I thought they were going to take. Refsnyder reaching on an error by Anthony Volpe. I see some Yankee fans here in the chat. Listen, I'm going to say here right now, what's going on with Anthony Volpe as of late. I feel like he's making quite a few errors out there. And this is a guy where he's been pretty good defensively. I don't even say pretty good. He's been very good defensively over the last couple of years. What's going on with Anthony Volpe as of late? I don't know what's going on. 99 over 22. I see you in the chat. Better than Trevor Story. I mean, listen, I like Anthony Volpe. I'm not trying to trash on Volpe. I've actually been a Volpe fan. There's probably not a whole lot of them out there, or it seems like there's not a whole lot of them out there. I actually do like Volpe because, I think he does a lot of good things defensively. And in the end, he was the starting shortstop for a World Series team last year. Had the big grand slam in that one too. But I don't know. He's just making a lot of goofs as of late. I'm not sure what's going on with Mr. Volpe. But I will say this. Rob Refsnyder, I am completely okay with this guy getting leadoff opportunities against left-handed pitching from now on. I think they have found their leadoff guy against lefties. I'm completely okay with this. Maybe sometimes you can try Romy in that spot, but I think either Refsnyder or Romy need to be leading off against lefties. But then Raffy with a double play right after that, and you're thinking, oh, okay, it's going to be one of those games here today. Couple of double plays for Raffy on the day. Luckily, he made up for it with the home run later on. But then this is when the Romy Gonzalez triple came in, hit it right down the right field line. Again, just that flop that I don't want to say flop, just the face plant that he took going into the third base bag. Love the hustle, man. And I think just that is what brought the Red Sox crowd to their feet today. just that dirt dog mentality. That's what people in Boston love, man. They love that dirt dog mentality. It's you love to see it. And Romy, he's been very good this year for the Red Sox against left-handed pitching. And then Trevor Story coming up with the base hit right after that. Just a crazy pitch, too. It was a fastball way inside, and he just fought it off and just got it to left field. Again, you don't need to do too much. It was a pitch way up and in, but hey, sometimes you just stick the bat out there, good things can happen. And Story, he's always seen Fried very well. Almost a 2,000 OPS against him in his career. So wasn't surprised to see Story come through against Fried today. And then later on, Raffy with the home run, just waited for a fastball over the plate. That's what I was saying with Fried yesterday in the preview as well. He's going to attack the zone. Just wait for a pitch, that you feel like you can hit out over the plate. And against Raffy, you can't be leaving those pitches over the plate there. So 31st career home run for Raffy Devers against the Yankees in 119 games. Not bad. Not bad. I think he is, I hate to say it, Yankee fans, but I think Raffy Devers is the Yankees' daddy. Happy Father's Day. But let's get to Brayan Bello here. I mean, he's the star of the show here today, and he is my player of the game. 7 innings, 3 hits, 0 earned, 8 Ks, 114 pitches. You don't usually see these high pitch counts, but holy cow, man. You're seeing just some great starting pitching lately. Man, you love it. You love it. Just a great turn through the rotation this last time out. Lots of cutters today from Brayan Bello. 3% cutter usage on the year up to this point, and he really increased that today. Let me actually get the exact percentage. Went 33% cutters today, from 3% to 33%. Fantastic. How many whiffs did he get on this one here today? He got 4 whiffs on it. He had 13 whiffs overall, but I did notice a bit of a better changeup today. A little better there, right? Still kind of a tick below that 90 mile per hour range. Would like for that to be a little bit slower. I want there to be a bit more differentiation when it comes to the speed compared to the fastball and the sinker, which are going to be in the mid-90s. But, you saw it diving a little bit. The spin was up on it today. So you did notice a bit of a better changeup there today. The sinkers, he was keeping down in the zone. He went 27% sinkers today. He was getting the ground balls. That's something I've loved with the Red Sox in this series, attacking the lower part of the zone, right? That's exactly what I said the Yankees needed to do. The Red Sox needed to do against the Yankees coming into this series, because this is a team that likes to put the ball in the air. You had to attack the bottom of the zone, get this Yankees team to pound those balls into the ground. And the Red Sox did that today. Also, Aaron Judge. I don't know what's going on with Aaron Judge here. Yes, he had that clutch home run. All the respect in the world to Aaron Judge, right? Tying up the game on Friday night. Big-time home run in a high-leverage spot. I think it's phenomenal what Aaron Judge is doing this year. He's on pace for one of the best seasons of all time. At one point, I believe last week, he was on pace to have a top 3 Fangraph wins above replacement season of all time in the same stratosphere as guys like Babe Ruth and Barry Bonds. That's the kind of pace this guy is on. But holy cow, the Red Sox figured him out this past weekend. And 13 strikeouts against the Red Sox in 2 series now. 3 strikeouts to Aaron Judge today. But also, the bullpen today. Brennan Bernardino, not amazing here today. He came in, gave up a couple of hits to Goldie, Grisham. Those guys have had great years. And Bernardino has not been very effective as of late. You go back not too long ago, he was taking his glove, just slamming it into the dugout, going down the steps. He did get DJ LeMahieu on the strikeout, but then Garrett Whitlock came in today, bringing back some good memories, man. Made me think of 2021 Garrett Whitlock, when this guy would come in the end of games, get you like an inning and a third save, inning and 2/3 save, 2 innings sometimes. That Garrett Whitlock looked very good today, pounding the zone, just bringing the velo, bringing the good stuff, close it out to end the game today. Just a great day for the Red Sox overall. Again, not a whole lot of offense, but you don't need a whole lot of offense when you got the pitching in check. You know, I'm going to say this too. It's funny because we were all getting on to Andrew Bailey a little bit when, you know, you go back to that Angels series, you're losing 2 out of 3, you're dropping series left and right. You're thinking, what's going on with this pitching staff? They can't go further than 5 innings. And I think maybe Andrew Bailey like went on Twitter or something, and he was reading all the comments, and he's thinking, "Oh man, I gotta maybe step this up a little bit." They came up with some kind of a plan here over the last week and a half or so, and it has been extremely effective. I think it's also they've just kept things simple. All right, pound the zone, attack the lower part of the zone. You know, go up with the velo. I think really they've just tried to keep things simple. You know, instead of just trying to like, okay, let's try to lean into this pitch here today. Let's try to, you know, I don't know. That's something with Bailey going back to last year where he's really focused on strengths. But instead, sometimes, you know, just the good old classic pitching, changing locations, changing eye levels, going in and out of the zone, breaking pitches away, off-speed pitches down, velo up. You know, it's a tried and true method, and I feel like the Red Sox have been doing that. Throw a lot of strikes, get ahead in the count. They're just executing very well, and I really love what I'm seeing out of this pitching staff as of late. Before we do get into the next series preview, we do have one more word from our sponsor today.
Kratz, you look different today. Do I see Chubbies shorts on your shoulder?
Oh, the sick design. I mean, don't even get it twisted too, because the lining normally is like an SOS pad. This lining that's in the center is so soft, so smooth. The outside, so many things to choose from on chubbyshorts.com.
Facts. And the code FOUL for 20% off. I got the Tiger Sharks.
Ooh-wee.
Little blend of a tiger and a shark. It's beautiful. So don't wait. For a very limited time, shop Chubby's biggest sale of the year, $45 shorts and up to 65% off select gear. Hit up chubbyshorts.com and grab your favorites before they're gone. If you miss the sale, then use the FT code, FOUL in lowercase for 20% off. Support FT, let them know we sent you when the survey asks, and get ready to turn some heads. Summer's here, dress like it in Chubbies.
Alrighty, let's get to the Mariners preview, and then I'm going to go on Twitter. I'm going to look at your reactions, and we'll get the show on the road here. So let's talk about the Mariners first real quick here. Here are the pitching matchups. We got Lucas Giolito against Logan Gilbert in Game 1. Walker Buehler against Brian Wu in Game 2. Apologies if you're live with me here on YouTube. The computer's being funky again as of late, and things aren't loading. I don't know why. But Walker Buehler, Brian Wu for Game 2, and then Garrett Crochet, Luis Castillo for Game 3. Now, with the Mariners, right? Whenever you think of the Mariners, you're thinking of good pitching, all right? You're thinking of just top-tier starting pitching. However, the Mariners pitching has not been as top-notch this year. If you have not been following along with the Mariners, it's been a little shaky, right? Logan Gilbert's been hurt. He's actually is this his first start back from the IL? I think it actually might be. Let me double check this here. Yes, this is his first start back from the IL. Had a bit of an elbow issue. The last start that he made was April 25th. So do expect Logan Gilbert, who's been one of the better pitchers in baseball over the last couple of years, to probably be on some kind of a pitch count. I would imagine they're going to be monitoring him very closely. But with Logan Gilbert, this guy that's going to pound you with fastballs. He's got a nasty slider as well. He's going to throw some sinkers to you. He's going to get a good amount of ground balls. Now, taking a look here at his last full season, I mean, goodness, take a look at that ground ball percentage. 51.5% ground balls on the year so far. It was at 45% last year. So he's going to attack you with some good velo. His velo was down. So I'm wondering how far back the elbow issue was actually going, but still had very good numbers. He had a 2.37 ERA and 13 strikeouts per 9 over his first 6 starts. So Gilbert has been on top of his game It's not going to be an easy matchup, even though, sure, maybe there might be a little rust here. How far does he go into the game? I'm not quite sure. But Lucas Giolito, I actually do like this matchup for Giolito, being in a bit of a pitcher-friendly ballpark, a guy that gets more fly balls compared to, I cannot speak right now, gets more fly balls compared to ground balls. So a pitcher-friendly park like Seattle. I think Giolito, he could have himself a pretty decent outing, right? We'll have to just wait and see, but he did look very solid his last time out. Taking a look at his last start against the Rays, he went 6 innings, 3 hits, 0 earned. That was a matchup that I did like because the Rays, at least this year, have been more of a ground ball hitting team, right? Pounding the balls into the ground. But with Giolito, more of a fly ball pitcher. So I actually liked the mismatch there. And let me take a look here really quick when it comes to the Mariners. What do they like to do more with the batted ball profile? Now, let's see here. So they're 11th in fly ball percentage and 18th in ground ball percentage. So they're going to do a little bit of both. So we'll see. Now, let me look at the line drive percentage with Seattle. 21st in line drive percentage. Let's see. How about soft percentage? So actually, the Mariners, they have the third highest soft contact percentage. So I think with Giolito, we'll see what he can do. That would be a recipe for a ground ball pitcher. But let's see what Giolito can do here in this start. Either way, though, I like the pitcher-friendly park for him. And then Walker Buehler, he looked a lot better his last time out as well against Tampa. Let's even keep that momentum going, but you're not going to have an easy matchup here with Bryan Woo. Bryan Woo has been very good over the last couple of years here. With Woo so far in the year, 13 starts, ERA at a 3.39, FIP at a 3.57. Not a whole lot of strikeouts with Bryan Woo, but what he's going to do is he's not going to walk a lot of batters. 1.3 walks per 9. He's going to pitch to contact. Not a whole lot of ground balls. He is actually more of a fly ball pitcher. So I think for the Red Sox, to me, see what you can do against Bryan Woo there, right? He's going to attack the zone, but that's, something with the Red Sox where they make a lot of swings, and he's a guy that's gotten a good amount of weak contact as well, especially, weak fly balls. Could that be a matchup that maybe goes against the Red Sox a little bit? I don't know. Just have to wait and see. Either way, Bryan Woo, he's going to pound the strike zone. He's going to work efficiently out there too. And then you got an interesting matchup here for Game 3. Garrett Crochet against Luis Castillo. All right, obviously we know how good Crochet's been. Was amazing against the Yankees his last time out. Was on his way to a complete game shutout. And then Aaron Judge ruined any hope for that one. But going up against Luis Castillo, remember this past offseason, there was one point where you're thinking maybe Luis Castillo could have been a Boston Red Sox. There were some trade rumors flying around everywhere, ended up staying with Seattle, but he has looked pretty good. Everyone's saying Castillo's falling off. He's not looking like his old self anymore. This is the, he's reached that point in his career where he's just going to get worse and worse. But no, Castillo's actually been looking pretty good here. So taking a look at the numbers overall with him, ERA at a 3.29. The FIP is a little bit higher at a 3.88. But with him, what he's really focusing on this year is he's not trying to strike guys out as much. Over the last couple of years, his strikeouts have been going down. He had 10 per 9 in 23. That was down to 9 last year and right around 7.5 this year. The walks are up a little bit, but he's not giving up as many home runs. So with the Red Sox, again, you got a few guys here. They're just going to pound the zone with strikes. And, a team that likes to swing the bat a lot, could that end up going in the Red Sox favor here, right? They're going to look to make a bunch of hard contact. I think this could be a matchup here for the Red Sox to really take advantage of. We'll see. With the Mariners, they have not been playing great as of late. This is still a team that's right there in the wild card hunt. They're in striking distance as well with the division. But the Mariners, they have been more of a colder team as of late. So with a hot team like the Red Sox, the Mariners, not as much. This could be a good matchup for the Red Sox here. And listen, you got the sweep of the Yankees. Just keep going for series wins. You don't need to go out there and sweep every single opponent, but the Red Sox now over 500 for the first time in what feels like 8 years, for crying out loud. They're playing great, taking some good momentum here into Seattle. And like I've said the last couple of nights, I'm a believer in momentum. To me, when you're feeling good, you tend to play good too. So let's get to the reactions. I'm going to take a look here at what all of you are saying. I do have to check the time. We're at 25 minutes here. So we are going to start wrapping it up on NESN. If you are watching on NESN, I'm going to start cutting it off right there here in the next minute or so. If you do want to watch the rest of this episode, you can come here on YouTube, onto Monster Territory, and you can come watch the fan reactions portion where I put a thread or a post on Twitter. And I said, hey, give me your thoughts. Give me your reactions. Let me know what you're thinking. And I'm going to read them. And we'll have some fun with them. But if you are watching on NESN, thank you for stopping by today. Enjoy the rest of your Father's Day, and I'll see you next time. But let's get to the rest of the show here on YouTube. We got G-Mags. He says here, he posted the good old Peter Griffin. Hello, we're back, department. I'd like to file a claim. I'm thinking we are actually back. You might want to file a lot of claims out there. Yes, David. In the chat, I'm going to read the chat here in a little bit as well. David, yes, we're on NESN now as well. So we're on here on YouTube, but you can also catch this on NESN Nation. So let's see what else we got here. This is hilarious. I actually saw this earlier, and I need to pull this up. This is so funny. It took me, I got a potato for a brain, but I saw this at first, and it took me a second. And I was like, oh, okay. I got it. I got it here. So we got ABC going on here from Matthew Gross. He put the alphabet. You got Volpe in the E spot. You got Judge in the K spot. You got the Yankee logo in the L spot. And you got the Red Sox logo in the W spot. You got to love that. That is fantastic. Matthew Gross, thank you for that, my friend. Thank you for that. Anthony, the Red Sox fan. How you doing, my friend? Says here, free smoke with a few brooms there. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Bradley, how you doing? The corner is turned. I'm good if fans want to stop questioning playing Romy, Toro, and Ref Snyder versus left-handed pitching. Also, lots of calls for Cora to be fired. Those can stop too. Yeah. It just goes to show winning can really fix some things. But you have been noticing the Red Sox. I was saying for how long there, you're losing, dropping that awful series in Milwaukee, losing 2 out of 3 to the Angels. Things were looking rough. And we were saying there needs to be changes. And you actually have seen a change here the last couple of days where you've seen Ref Snyder, being the leadoff hitter against lefties, where, they were having Duran still hitting leadoff against lefties. So it feels like they're getting away from that. They finally called up, Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, getting these younger guys up, getting a little bit more of an energy, a bit more youth in the clubhouse, right? And people will say, oh, that's a bad thing. Too many young players on this team, right? I've seen people say, oh, this team is young, but it's not a bad thing necessarily, right? They've been making changes along the way. The approach at the plate, I think you saw a different approach yesterday in that game where they're not just trying to, go for dinger after dinger, right? Just making solid contact. Like you saw Romy with that great opposite field hit into the gap yesterday. A fastball up, didn't try to do too much with it. Just a solid swing, solid contact right into the gap, right? And then you take advantage of your athleticism, but you don't try to lean into it too much. And what I mean by that, where, this is a team where it felt like the first, couple of months where, yes, you got a lot of athletic players, but it felt like you were only trying to just get by on that, where making a lot of clumsy plays in the field, but you got to work on those little things. You did see Christian Campbell making another error today. So that's something he's got to keep working on. But, the athleticism that I like is when you're using it in the right way, on the base paths, right? Christian Campbell on that Romy double yesterday, scoring all the way from first base. That's when that athleticism really comes into play, right? A lot of this too is just simply fixing the infield defense, right? Getting just better production from the field, right? You're just noticing some adjustments with the bats. You're noticing the adjustments with the pitching staff. They're working more efficiently. They're not trying to get cute out there. They're just playing just good old baseball. You're not trying to just be, how do I say this? I feel like the Red Sox, it's like they try to be almost sometimes like they try to act like they're the smartest ones in the room, where really sometimes when you just have good baseball players, you just let them go out there and just play, And I feel like that's what I've been getting out of this Red Sox team as of late. Scranton Red Sox says, I feel like $1 million. Me too, my friend. Me too. What else we got here? Ian, how you doing? Team seems totally different and energized. There is a different feeling. Absolutely. Sam Stein, how you doing? We got Elmo dancing. Love that. Will says, Red Sox are winning the World Series now. Hold on, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Hold on, pump the brakes. Jeff, something's got to give. With Abreu coming back, who goes? Need another pen arm and a starter? Going to be very interesting. I feel like I've also noticed, Abreu going on the IL. I feel like we've been seeing, no disrespect to Willie or Abreu, but I feel like we've also just been seeing less swing and miss here too. I feel like you've just been seeing more productive at-bats. Maybe that's just me. I just feel that way. I don't know. But to me, it seemed like he was dealing with something. But I agree. I think something's got to give. I do think something's got to give. I think eventually you're going to have to make some kind of a move, right? It's kind of just where I'm at right now. I think Abreu, if I'm leaning either like Duran or Abreu, I am leaning more towards Abreu being the guy that you try to shop a little bit, because Duran, he's just too hard to replicate. Tim says, this is a family-friendly show, so I will not say the exact quote here, but he says, bleeping exhilarating. Absolutely. Brandon, Bello absolutely shoved. That's the biggest positive, especially in a day game. Oh, that's a good point, Brian. Bello on a day game. Gotta love that as well. Dave with the Undertaker gif sitting up. That's a good gif. Joe says, Sox? I think so. We got here, we'd love to see the starting pitching keep this up. Absolutely. Dobbins Nation, quality start equals W's. Offense doesn't need to score 10 runs every game. I agree. Maxwell, do you think there's still even a chance at this division? I'm probably reaching. Well, hold on. Let's go look at the updated standings here. What do we got here? I mean, we just swept the Yankees, so you definitely just made a big... We're 6.5 out in the division now. Oh, wow. Look at that. The Red Sox are actually now they are now tied for a wild card spot. Would you look at that, everybody? Well, the Mariners are still playing. The Guardians are still playing. But the Twins, they've lost 4 straight. I was not a believer in the Twins coming into the year. But the Red Sox right now, they are tied for the 3rd wild card spot. Let's see what ends up happening with the Mariners and the Guardians here. But right now, if the Guardians and the Mariners lose, which we can pull up the updated scores here. The Mariners are... Oh, they're playing each other. Sorry. Okay, well, never mind. One of them are going to have the 3rd wild card spot. But the Red Sox are right there. 6.5 out in the division. Listen, I mean, I don't think anything's ever out of the question, right? The Yankees, obviously, they're a very good team. They're cold, right? Team's going to hit some cold spells. But, hey, I don't think the Red Sox are going to go out there and dominate the Yankees like this every single time. But you definitely helped yourselves out. I'm not going to say the division as of right now. I did predict the division coming into the year. Looking back, not even like a week after, even the day after, I was kind of thinking, man, maybe I got a little too ambitious with that call. I felt like maybe wild card would have been better. But thinking about it, I feel like the Red Sox, are they at that point where they're going to be going for a division? What we've seen so far, right now they seem more of a team that's trying to get a wild card spot. So I won't say it's out of the question, but I think right now, realistically, let's just look at this wild card, right? Let me update this. Let me see if we get a couple more here. And let's see if there's another one that got turned in. Let's see. Nope, looks like that's all. That's all here for today. But let me see what's going on here in the chat. We got a lot of people here in the chat. Good crowd here today for Father's Day. Jill says, I hope everyone will please stop talking about trading this player or that. I said 2 weeks ago. Just all wait until after the Yankee series. Keep in mind, POs do not have 3 rookies starting. Yeah, I still think let things kind of shake out a little bit. We still haven't even seen Roman really play consistently, So I think you still got to wait and see. But things are feeling good, though. What do we got here? Fenway Francis, this feels like a team that gets a big deadline deal, rides to the postseason. I mean, they are definitely building that energy at the right time. That it definitely got to say. Definitely got to say they are. They're building momentum here at probably the best possible time. Remember, they had a good June last year. Something feels a little different about this one, though. Right? Joe, you're saying here we should get Sandy, if not for this year or for the future. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'm not a big fan of the idea. Now, where I will say for the Red Sox, coming into the year, I wasn't a fan of the idea because you just went out and got Garrett Crochet. But with Sandy, his value has gone down because he has not had a good year. He still has a couple more years of club control because he's on a team-friendly deal. If there were a time for the Red Sox to maybe try and pull off something, I think you could maybe say, maybe he's not out of the question, right? Because, coming into the year, it was going to take quite a bit to get the guy. Because you were thinking, he's going to be fine when he comes back, but he's had a lot of bumps, right? The Red Sox, they got a lot of position players within their system, right? That's what I think the Marlins, they're going to be looking for. They've been looking for position player talent going back to last trade deadline. So I think the Cubs are a good fit because they got a lot of those kind of players. The Red Sox, obviously, could you maybe do something with like Franklin Arias or, maybe like Stinson? I don't know. I'm very excited about him. Hopefully don't get rid of him. Like Blaze Jordan's had a great year. Big fan of Blaze, right? But, still, you got some players here in this system that maybe you could work something out. It really just depends, though, because the Marlins, they have that luxury because they have that club control. If they feel like they're not getting an offer that they like for him at the deadline, they could just hold him until the offseason, and they can look for a deal then. So I still think you're going to have to give up a lot for Sandy. If you're looking at it on paper, value-wise, projection-wise, based off of how he's been pitching, doesn't look like you would have to give up a lot for him. But, from a market perspective, and if he is pitching well, I think, yeah, you're going to have to give up a decent amount. Could the Red Sox do that? I don't see why not. But I don't know. I feel like with Craig, he made that big splash for Crochet. Does he go after a big-time arm like that? This is where I think if you were to move, I've said this a lot, but if you were to move Willier or Duran, I think you use one of those guys to go get a starter, right? Do you sacrifice the farm to go get a guy? I mean, you already just did for Crochet. Do you want to do it again? Or use the value of Willier to maybe land yourself, someone out there. I've seen some people suggest Freddie Peralta. Really depends on what happens with the Brewers. And when I say people suggesting Freddie Peralta, I mean just people in comments. That's not a report or anything. But, with the Brewers, they're always looking to compete. But that's also a team that has one eye on the present and one on the future. So with Freddie Peralta, with one more year of control for next year, which is a club option, do the Brewers sell high on him now with Brandon Woodruff coming back and Jacob Misarowski, who just got called up? Is that a route maybe they take where if you could offer them Willier Abreu, maybe a prospect or two along with him, that's where you get a club-controlled guy in Abreu to be in the middle of your lineup for the next 4 years, So I don't know. That doesn't sound bad at all to me, right? I know it would only be one more year of Freddie Peralta, but I don't know. I think it's something to think about. Will the Brewers even do that? I don't know. But everybody, I'm going to wrap it up right there. I want everyone to go out there, enjoy the rest of your Father's Day. It is 5 o'clock, 5:10 here on the East Coast. And I actually got to go get a video done for the main channel. So I actually got some work to do. I'm a busy man here tonight. But everybody, great weekend. Had the walk-off, solid win yesterday. Good pitching today. Good pitching all weekend. Great weekend. Great series sweep. You needed this one. I felt like that was just something else the Red Sox needed to check off here over the last couple of weeks. Let's get a sweep. And they did that over the freaking New York Yankees. You got to love it. Everybody, I'm out of here. Go enjoy the rest of your Father's Day. And we'll be back here tomorrow. Also want to point this out. West Coast game, right? So we are going to be here late over the next week or so. Thankfully, these games are moving quicker now, but we're going to be live here pretty late. So, I know a lot of you got to go out there and get your sleep. But if you want to join me for a late night show, you obviously are more than welcome, of course. But just reminder that these are going to be late games. So, prepare yourself if you want to watch live or if you just want to catch the replay in the morning on your way to work or whatever it may be. So, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow for the late night post-game show. Have a good night, everybody.